Hey guys, Captain Smash here with another blog post. Today's blog post is all about the top 10 exercises for anybody over 50. So now, with so many different exercises out there, it's hard to pick and choose which exercises are going to be most beneficial for somebody that's over the age of 50. But all we have to do is go back to fundamental movements in order to see the real light. And the truth of the matter is, these movements are movements appropriate for everyone. But caveat, if you're over 50, you may be dealing with some injuries or some things that are, impacting you physically that you can't do some of these moves. So when we go through the exercises by themselves, I'll give you a couple options for somebody over 50 that might help you out a little bit and enable you to get into some of these movement patterns fairly easily without hurting yourself. So now, number one, I love the squat. Squats are a great fundamental movement exercise that allows you to sit your hips back, drop down deep. So very important when you're getting older to be able to get in and out of chairs. So, and one of the big things that I read once when I was in college was that the equivalent of doing a 1 rep max squat for a younger person was about the same level of intensity as an elderly person that was not trained to get up out of a chair. And that stuck with me for a long time. And it's one of my founding principles of if you have trouble getting out of a chair and it feels like a 1 rep max squat, for me that's about a 500, 600 pound squat. That's a lot of force production. So, an untrained individual having to exert that much force just to get in and out of a chair sounds like unfathomable. So squatting has to be on number one on my list. Deadlifts, any sort of hip hinging exercise that you can get somebody to safely do is not only going to help out their posterior chain health, help develop their hamstrings and their lower back and their glute strength, but overall just create an overall balanced person's body. That way they can walk and be able to propel themselves in a manner in normal locomotor patterns. So heavy carries. To caveat on picking heavy stuff up and moving them, we have to do this all the time. So if you can pack around some heavy weight in the gym and get better at that, well, it's going to be a lot easier when you're transferring groceries from the car, picking up that load of pot soil, a whole bunch of things that are going to require you to pick up something heavy and be able to move it from place to place without hurting yourself. Planks and bird dogs are next on my list. So the plank, obviously you need a good amount of core strength. You need to be able to be stable in that plank position, which is overall going to be fundamental for your back health and helping get rid of any sort of back pain that you may have. Also combining that with bird dogs, that contralateral rotational pattern, and being able to stabilize that core while moving in an unstable position is entirely fundamental in order to increase your chances of lowering the risk of back pain. Push-ups. So there's nothing more fundamentally sound than being able to push yourself up off of the ground and into a full standing position. So push-ups have to be in there, and not only to develop the shoulder, tricep, and upper chest strength, but also just being able to maneuver the body under a load. Inverted rows, kind of the opposite of push-ups. We also need a good foundation of pulling strength. So often we're a very push-based society, so being able to pull something towards you is going to enhance your overall posture. You're going to sit up a lot straighter, your back muscles are going to be engaged and be able to do some work. Also bringing in the overhead variety of pulling motions. I chose cable pull downs because these are a lot easier for ladies and gentlemen that are over 50 to deal with some cranky shoulders. They can shift their positions very easily, and it allows them to get into the lats very easily and squeeze and stay out of their biceps as much as possible. With overhead pressing, obviously the ability to pick something heavy up over the head and being able to place it on a top shelf or get something down from a top shelf is very important as well. So, and my last one on there has to do with single-legged balance type activities. So pretty much anything single-legged that an older person can get into without knee pain is going to be good, not only because it's going to enhance their balance and their stability around their hip, knee, and ankle joints, but it's also going to just make them a more sound individual and help prevent falls later on in life. So now whether these are something like a single-legged stiff-legged deadlift, a lunge pattern, a split squat, the ends will vary, and depend on that individual and their previous injury history. So now, we all know that strength training is great for us. It enhances our muscles, It's going to stave off muscle wasting, the muscle atrophy. It's going to increase our bone mineral density. It's going to enhance our overall metabolic functioning, allow us to eat a little bit more and still keep off some extra body fat from being stored, and also improve our insulin sensitivity. So plus, it's just going to leave you feeling great. You know, I mean, there's something to be said about being able to take care of yourself and do the things that you used to do, even at that advanced stage of age where you start getting gradual declines in strength and muscle wasting. So, you know, check out the rest of the videos. I'm going to go through some of these exercises with some modifications for you if you're over 50 and you can do them yourself. And I look forward to seeing you guys here in the lab and chat with you soon.